Super Thracia, Chapter 7. This chapter is, like, it doesn't, at first it doesn't seem all that changed, but a few turns in you realize that it is substantially changed, and for the much harder. This chapter, comparatively to vanilla, is much, much harder. I wouldn't quite say it's bullshit, this hack doesn't really get to that territory until Chapter 8, 8X, in my opinion. But this chapter is just, in general, comparatively to vanilla, just much harder. I mean, you'll see why in a bit. I can't really show that yet, because nothing's really shown up yet. But, it is. As for things that are the same, Shiva and his group, same basic principle, they come after you. You can recruit them with Sophia when she shows up. That's pretty much the same. The houses are the same. They give a Master Seal and a Pure Water, same as vanilla. I'm not visiting them yet, so I'm just going to reset this chapter anyway once I show off what I need to show off. But for now, I need to play through to... I need to play basically to turn 3, because I will need to show stuff off in the enemy phase for turn 1 and 2. Yeah, Shiva and his whole gang move, and notably, those bandits on the side move. They don't move in vanilla, so now, not only do you have the pursuers from Manster coming after you, you have a bunch of bandits coming after you too, which... They take long enough to cross the peaks that it's probably not going to be that huge of an issue, even with, like, vanilla movement, which, I mean, I don't have, like, as I've said many times, I have modified this ROM for my convenience, having already played this hack once. But even just with, like, standard movement, it's not that hard to just barely outpace the bandits so that they don't catch up to you. And now I need to wait until the next turn before I can really show off anything more. Yeah, these two show up instead of Raedric and a guy on a horse. These are Zeed and Jemmy. I think they're characters from just some other media. I honestly have no idea. They are going to be recurring in this hack, but along with their appearance is the major change to this chapter. Instead of being chased by a bunch of cavaliers and some mages, maybe a couple foot soldiers like you are in vanilla, you're chased by a bunch of Draco Knights, which only, you know, a little bit harder to choke off, given that they ignore chokes. So, they also have like 9, I think some have 10 movement, so you're just being accosted a lot more thoroughly. It's not like in vanilla where you can put like Leaf here if he's durable enough and just kind of just invalidate the entire chasing army, maybe down here where he is now. Now they just fly over everything and will chase you no matter what, and they are... Yeah, like that's the main reason this chapter is much harder than vanilla. It's just those guys. I don't know why I'm moving fan. I'm not going to be playing past this turn. Anyway, the final major change to this chapter is when you have someone escape. Normally, in vanilla, Hannibal and his army of green units pop out, and the pursuers from Manster choose to retreat. In this version, Hannibal is an enemy, and he is very dangerous. And, you know, just like kind of to rub salt in the wound, the pursuers from Manster don't retreat in this, so if you have someone escape and like your rest of your army is around here, you not only have to try and get past Hannibal, the Draco Knights, you still have to worry about them. This basically just means that you have to have everyone escape on the same turn. And, like, this... It's more of an inconvenience more than a real difficulty thing. It's just this compounded with the Draco Knights. Like, normally you'd want to have someone escape quickly so that you stop getting chased, but instead the game's like, ha, no. Overall, just like I said, much harder chapter than in vanilla, because the Draco Knights are harder to deal with than the pursuing Cavaliers, and then Hannibal being an enemy just is kind of a kick in the face.